Welcome to the MS&Me Radio Network. The broadcast shows are for informational and entertainment purposes only. They are not designed to provide listeners with specific personal, medical, or counseling advice. Individuals with a medical issue should always consult their healthcare provider. MS&Me is not responsible for content of individual shows. The views expressed by show hosts or their guests are their own. Enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Dawn Melanie. Thank you for joining me today for another episode of my series, Managing Self. Last month we wrapped up March 2018, which was MS Awareness Month, and I just want you all to know that I'm ecstatic about all the efforts displayed, demonstrated by folks to spread the word of what multiple sclerosis is, what it is not, and what it can be. And with their actions such as engaging in information sharing forums, such as small groups, self-help meetings, larger meetings, perhaps those sponsored by some of the leading pharmaceutical companies, wearing the color orange, efforts like that, all efforts of examples of them sharing their stories, listening to others share their stories, and even a simple interaction between with others on social media on MS-related topics. All a great effort, and I applaud you all. And me as an MSer, I thank you. Like I said, social media, a lot of talk there on MS-related topics, issues, and those points of interest may include, but hopefully they'll continue to extend beyond any failure to provide. Any failure to provide just ADA compliant parking, and any disrespect some individuals may have for those affected by multiple sclerosis. The positive thought of individuals simply interested in becoming more knowledgeable gets me stoked. And that is the definition of awareness, the quality or state of being aware, knowledge and understanding that something is happening or exists, promoting a heightened awareness of the problem. Again, last month was MS Awareness Month, so hopefully you and I all made a good effort to make others aware of MS, promote MS awareness. I know that I'll continue to be an advocate for a growth in awareness regarding multiple sclerosis, and of course, its subsequential exponential growth. Now we know that current FDA-approved drugs slow the progression of this debilitating disease, multiple sclerosis. And if you're like me, you too are hoping to witness the development of a treatment that will prevent the development of multiple sclerosis. That is, stop it in its tracks before it even begins on its putrid attacks upon our bodies. This past March, a couple weeks ago, March 2018, marked my 19th year since my official diagnosis of relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis. And even after those 2 MRIs that I had prior to the official diagnosis, I didn't know what journey on which I was about to embark. But today, this is April 2018. Today, I know what an MRI is. It's magnetic resonance imaging. Am I saying that right? I don't know. I'm tired. MRI is magnetic resonance imaging, and it's a test that uses powerful magnets, radio waves, and a computer to make detailed pictures inside your body. Now, your doctor can use this test to diagnose or to see how well you've responded to treatments. Unlike the X-rays and CT scans, an MRI does not use radiation. And today, I can appreciate it. I can say that I was simply frustrated with my unexplained 6 months of unknown that I was going through. That is before I received my official diagnosis of MS, largely because of the data provided by the MRI. So I was going to say, like with its widespread presence, diagnosis of MS is occurring even earlier. For me, it was 6 months. Some people I've known 10, 15, 20 years or more. For me, it was 6 months. But I know that today, with the widespread presence of the MRI technology being used, MS diagnosis is occurring even earlier. And that's, like I said, thanks to its availability and the use of this technology. Having my MRI performed, the MRI testing, it's never been a problem for me, but I do know that a lot of people with MS, other ailments that they need to detect or use the MRI technology to assess their situation. I know that they may be a little apprehensive of getting regular MRIs. Myself, I get them every 6 months. Gosh, I can guesstimate over 20 years I've had probably 50 or so, at least 50 or so MRIs. But like I said, I don't have a problem with it, but I know that some are apprehensive. They think, some people may just be simply claustrophobic, and to be in a small tube for a period of time, I can understand that. It's a fear and it's real. Some others may have a fear of cancerous ultraviolet rays or the like, but like I said before, one thing the MRI does not use that the X-ray technology and CT scans use is radiation. So if that's any band-aid or make a feel-good fact, hopefully we all can recognize that, and maybe hopefully this will help you lose some of that apprehension you may have about embarking or getting in an MRI tube in the future. Now, to this very day, when someone asks, or pardon me, when someone says, "You don't look sick," I quickly offer answering with some of my. I quickly offer, I'm like, hey, you want to see some of my recent MRI reports? I don't look sick to you on the outward appearance. Sure, but do you want to see what I look like behind the scenes, or inside? Like, do you want to get in my brain? Better yet, I say, you want to take a look at the photo shoot of my brain? I mean, sometimes I may even say, do you want to look at a photo shoot? Some people may go, photo shoot? I'm like, yeah, it's a really, not bare clothes photo shoot. Some may raise an eyebrow, some may question, but I'll quickly explain. It is of my brain. I'm not offering a photo shoot of that nature, but I look at that their lack of knowledge about MRIs, MRI technology, a lack of knowledge of multiple sclerosis. I use that as an opportunity to share what invisible symptoms, particularly invisible symptoms of multiple sclerosis, can look like. And I liken my brain to a Swiss cheese. I jokingly say I have Swiss cheese head. They say, huh? I say I have multiple holes in my head, somewhat like Swiss cheese. Some are larger, some are smaller. Some actually like light up in the light. And they're like, huh? I said, long story. I said that means it's active. I think like the yeast or the cheeses are growing mold. Who knows? Anyway, enough of my cheese stories. Anyway, so there hasn't been an absolute correlation of lesions. We know that of lesions and a direct corresponding effect manifested to a troubled sense. Sense, I mean sensory, vision, hearing, touch. Let's see here. Smell, whatever. But things that, and we know that MS affects. Our nerves, our touch, our ability. Like I said, common are vision, hearing, touch. I've had problems with my speech, stuttering, and things like that. So we know that it's likely if you have a lesion, it's likely if you have an exacerbation, there may be some corresponding new lesions that can be seen in your brain on the MRI, but it's not 100%. You may see something, you may not. I know that you can have lesions on your brain and not have any manifested troubled senses. That's one thing. I mean, I know people who have hundreds of lesions and they don't have any physical manifestations, like, they can function normally, and it just doesn't affect them at the time. So like I said, it doesn't mean that you're going to have, if you have a lesion on this part of your brain, or scar on this part of the brain, that you're going to absolutely see some manifestation of some troubled sense. It's not it doesn't happen like that one-to-one. Unfortunately, it doesn't. So again, we say, hey, predictability of MS is amazing, and also everybody's experience is unique to them. And it's funny because I used to get slightly perturbed when I believed that I had to explain my situation. Over 19 years, I know that I'm not obligated to explain myself to people. However, like I said before, when they mention about the MRIs and how I don't look sick, I use things like that as an opportunity to educate them with an awareness to what MS is. Again, what MS is, what MS isn't, and what MS can be. I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad for their misunderstanding or not knowing, because when I was diagnosed, my doctor let me believe there was only one face of MS, just one face. It wasn't true 19 years ago that MS had one face, and I darn sure know that it's not true today, that MS has one face. And until that cure is evolved, not today, even if not tomorrow, but I pray that just one day we'll have that cure of MS. I believe that we're all destined to a faith of mobility, or should I say self-mobility. See, the doctor, when I was diagnosed, almost like I said, over 19 years ago, like I said, the doctor said there's like one face of MS, and we're all destined to one existence, and that is a life of limited self-mobility. But I don't believe that, and like I said, I pray for a cure. Like I said, if it doesn't occur today, it doesn't occur tomorrow, but sometime in the future, whenever it occurs, I think we can all be hopeful and try to maintain our own self-mobility, regardless of what is. Because again, everybody's different, so just because it happens to one doesn't mean it's going to happen to another in the exact same fashion. So, like I said, there's no one face of MS. There's many faces, and I don't care if doctors or friends or family or even stuff that we read. I don't care what they say. We're all not the same, and we're all not destined to a life of limited mobility. It's not true. And one thing I tell people, or I guess the best way to say it is, my take on it is, if you look at my example, but when someone asks me, hey, what does multiple sclerosis do? What does that do to you? My response, very simple response, is it depends. Sometimes it can do whatever it wants to, because actually no two cases are the exact same. So it depends. It depends on our lifestyle behaviors, and because of that, that's why I tell people, like, my situation isn't the same as another person's situation. Not the exact same. Maybe similar, but not the exact same. And I like to look at me as managing my situation, managing myself, managing my multiple sclerosis, because I know that what I do, my behavioral activities, my behavior will affect my MS. I know that in the long term. Lifestyle activities or behaviors like diet, physical activity, emotional well-being, these all have an impact on my good standing with MS, or my MS good standing, or how well can I handle my MS, or how well can I manage my MS? That is, how well can I live my most normal life, battling this disease. My diet, on a day-to-day basis, I try to eat a healthier lifestyle. Foods that are reflective of a healthier lifestyle, including lower fat items. I don't eat many fried foods because that's saturated fats, and those fats are bad. So if I eat something with fat, it's going to be monosaturated fats, like things with olive oil or avocados. Avocados are very good. I love those, and I love to eat. If you've listened to any of my prior shows, you know that I love to eat. I love food. However, over the years, I've changed. I've changed from, I used to just live to eat. I'll be like, what am I eating next? What's my next gorge meal? Today, and definitely for the past 20 years, I've altered that, and I now eat to live. I eat to live a healthier life that'll be more a prolonged existence. I don't want to just eat food because it's there, buffet after buffet, gorging until I can't fit it anymore in my stomach and get sick. No, today I eat consciously. I eat consciously of, like I said, low-fat foods, high-fiber foods, high-protein foods, good complex carbs, not simple carbs like sugar, white sugar. I limit my intake of those things. I do that very consciously. Every meal, every time I put something in my mouth, I know what I'm eating. If I'm going to eat it now, maybe my next meal is going to be reflective and not be as quote-unquote fun. Physical activity. I know, well, first of all, let me say that why is diet important? Diet is important with MS as just general health. If you have MS or any other chronic illness, you probably don't want to, have a conglomerate of different things you're fighting. Because a diet high in unnecessary calories will probably lead to obesity, and we know that obesity can be difficult and lead to mobility problems. If you have MS and you already have mobility problems, that's going to make it even more significant of a problem. So, we don't want to combine these things. If you're eating a diet high in sugar, perhaps you may end up with type 2 diabetes. You put yourself at risk. Or a diet high in fat, you put yourself at risk for heart problems, heart disease, which is the number one killer, and things like that. A stroke. And again, we don't need to deal with anything else in addition to any of the silly stuff or complications that MS throws our way. So that's why I personally manage myself, my situation with my diet, and it is important to me. Like I said, today I eat to live everything that I do. Another factor that I am quite aware of is my physical activity. You all may know that I do work out quite a bit. I competed in bodybuilding and figure competitions for 10 years, and all while having MS, all while having MS, and I was working full time and corporate environment. Also, I continued to compete after I left corporate America, and I competed with MS. I've had exacerbations on stage with MS. MS felt like it wanted to do that at the time, but there were factors. It was hot and things like that, and I got overheated, and so people saw what it can do. It made my right side of my body inoperable. I couldn't walk more than 2 feet. It was embarrassing at the time. However, it was eye-opening to a lot of people and made them aware of MS. It's okay. I still continue to work out a bit to the best of my abilities. I'm not as strong as I was, but I still work out quite a bit. I try 5 days a week, and if I'm in the gym, I'm going to walk at least 3 to 5 miles walking. Walking, why? Because I can. Some of us can't walk with MS. I've been there, and I was at therapy earlier this week. Pardon me, not this week, but earlier the year, working with a physical therapist on my situation, my challenges that I have with walking and with just balance. So walking is mobility. Like I said, it's reflective of our mobility, and that's another thing with how we can manage ourselves and manage our situations with lifestyle changes, our diet, our physical activity. Next, our emotional well-being. This is kind of funny because most people know that I'm the most upbeat, happy, joy type of individual, but actually the past couple months, I've had some pretty low times. Unfortunately, Dawn Melanie is human as well, and I've been cognizant of that, and I've been cognizant of that, and I've made really extra efforts not to let myself get too low at any point in time, because I know what depression and feeling down can lead to, particularly with MS. I know that whenever I've had a flare-up or exacerbation, a stressful situation proceeded not too far before that. I mean, literally. And I have everything documented in a flow chart. For my first 11 years of MS, and any exacerbation I had or significant increase of lesions, particularly enhancing lesions, it occurred shortly thereafter a major stressful event. So whether it be a job change or moving or something like that, it was kind of related, in my opinion. So again, how do I manage myself? What's my situation? Or how do I keep my situation under control? With diet, a good, healthy, proper diet, moderate physical activity, the most to my according to the best of my physical ability, and also I try to take care of myself emotionally. Again, this includes avoiding. I avoid situations. I don't like confrontations. I also don't like to be involved or engaged in toxic relationships or in toxic situations. So I try to remove myself from such situations as well. A lifestyle change that I've been made aware of last month, MS Awareness Month, is the use of cannabis to help with MS pain management. It's a therapy that I haven't tried myself, but I've learned that there's different strains: THC strain for the high, and a CBD strain to directly to apply for the to reduce the pain that one's experiencing. So I just want to say that like I said, I haven't tried it. I've tried other complementary therapies such as acupuncture, different things like that, chiropractor visits, pain management consultants, but I haven't tried cannabis. But I want to encourage you, if you are considering it, to get it medically, because that way you can ensure that you're receiving what you intend to receive and avoid things that you are not intending to receive. Before I close, I just want to kind of run through one more thing that I became more aware of last month, and that is the use of voice-controlled technology. I was aware of voice or speech to text, where you can say what you want, and as an alternative to typing if you have limited mobility. But I wasn't aware of the widespread use of things like voice-controlled air conditioning or voice-controlled heat, or even the lights in your house. So that was interesting. I was doing some reading, on MS sites and things like that. So, like I said, I became aware of it. So if I run across maybe somebody who isn't aware of that, I'll be sure to bring that to their attention. But in case any of you out there may be needing these things, or it would help you, just maybe make life easier. Just let you know, it is available out there. It is real. It just seems so futuristic. It's like, oh, that'd be so cool in the future to have something like adjust my heat or adjust my lights. But that is being used, and like I said, I've been made aware of it, and I just want to share that with you. So if you need it, maybe you can do some further research of it on your own. Again, I just want to review. Awareness is the ability to directly know and perceive, or to feel, or to be cognizant of events. So that's the whole thing was about with MS Awareness Month. More broadly, it's a state of being conscious of something. So we're conscious of it. We know what MS is. I know what MS is. But I can learn things that I didn't know. So I can be more aware. And I know that every day I know every day is different for each of us battling MS. We call it the MS monster, multiple sclerosis. But I hope that we never cease. I hope that we never slow down our efforts of making others aware of MS. Like I said, we can learn too, because there's things that we can learn, but hopefully we can help spread the word, and I hope we never stop trying to show or educate others, making them aware of it, what MS is, what it is, what it can be, and what it isn't, but the dynamics of MS. So again, this is Dawn Melanie, and I thank you for listening this week, and I hope you join me next week.